The morning of the impossible. The rooster's cry echoed faintly in the quiet stillness of dawn. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, the kind of hour when the world feels half asleep, wrapped in a haze between dreams and waking. On the top floor of a sprawling mansion in a wealthy district of the city, a boy named Samir Caldwell, though everyone simply called him Sam, stirred in his bed. He was only 9 years old, a child born into luxury. His parents were successful investors, and his family's house stood like a palace above manicured gardens. Sam had every toy, every book, every comfort a child could want. Yet, on this particular morning, none of those things mattered. Because when Sam's eyelids fluttered open, he found something standing at the foot of his bed. At first, it was only a blur, like a shape woven out of mist, but as his vision sharpened, he froze. A creature unlike anything he had ever seen was gazing at him. Its body shimmered, translucent, as though woven from strands of starlight. Its eyes were enormous, glowing a pale silver blue. The child's breath caught in his throat, but before Sam could scream or move, the creature vanished. Not walked away, not slipped into shadow. It simply dissolved, flickering out of sight like smoke.
What was that?
Then before he could gather his thoughts, the room erupted in color. Through his wide bedroom window, a sudden flash of blue and green light illuminated the night. It was no ordinary light. It pulsed, alive, humming with energy. Sam rushed to the glass, pressed his palms against it, and stared with disbelief. Hovering above the lawn was a flying saucer, sleek, metallic, rimmed with lights that shimmered in hues of emerald and sapphire. Its presence felt impossible, terrifying, and magnificent all at once. The air vibrated as if charged with electricity. Sam's heart hammered in his chest. He wanted to scream, to wake his parents, to shout to the world. But his voice failed him. All he could do was watch. The saucer tilted slightly, and then, with a soundless surge of motion, it rose higher and higher into the starry sky until it was gone, and silence returned. Sam collapsed back into bed, trembling. He barely slept that night. Chapter 2. The Boy Who Wasn't Believed. The next morning, Sam ran downstairs, words tumbling from his lips.
Mom, Dad, you won't believe it. I saw something, a spaceship. There was a creature in my room, and then lights outside, and...
Sam, darling, you must have had a dream.
It wasn't a dream. I was awake. I saw it, I swear.
Aliens visiting our backyard? That's a good one. You've been reading too many adventure books, son.
But it was real. There was a creature and a flying saucer.
Enough, no more nonsense. Eat your breakfast.
Sam felt his cheeks burn. He wanted to argue, but he swallowed his anger and pushed food around his plate instead. At school, it was worse. Sam couldn't keep the secret, he told his classmates during recess, voice trembling with excitement as he described the glowing lights and the shimmering alien. They laughed.
Sam saw E.T., some jeered. Sam saw E.T., one boy teased. Another flapped his arms like a saucer and made woo-woo noises. Soon, the story spread through the school and Sam was branded the boy who believed in little green men.
Humiliation cut deep. No one believed him. Not his parents, not his teachers, not his friends. But deep inside, Sam knew the truth. What he saw was real. And that truth planted a seed. Chapter 3. The Spark of Obsession. The years passed, and while the memory of that night faded in the minds of others, it never left Sam. If anything, it grew sharper, more vivid, etched into his soul. At 12, he haunted the library, devouring books on astronomy and space science. At 15, he built crude telescopes, spending nights on the roof, scanning the sky for strange lights. At 17, he subscribed to scientific journals, memorized constellations, and filled notebooks with equations he barely understood at first. His parents worried he was wasting his youth. His classmates mocked him for being a nerd, but Sam didn't care.
I'm going to find it again. I'll prove to them all. I'll prove it to the world.
That childhood encounter had given his life direction. While others dreamed of careers in business, art, or sports, Sam dreamed of the universe. When he was accepted into the country's most prestigious university to study astrophysics, even his parents, though skeptical, were proud. Sam buried himself in research. He learned about wormholes, exoplanets, signals from distant galaxies. He studied propulsion systems, interstellar travel theories, quantum mechanics. While other students went out drinking, Sam stayed in the lab, chasing the impossible. Because deep down, he wasn't just learning science. He was searching for them. The ones who had visited him. The ones no one else believed in. Chapter 4. Whispers of the Unknown. In his early 20s, Sam joined a space research program. He analyzed radio signals collected by massive telescopes, hoping for irregularities. Most of it was cosmic noise, the static hum of the universe. But once, just once, he heard something strange. A pattern. Rhythmic pulses, faint but deliberate. Not random, not natural. Sam's pulse quickened. He recorded the data, analyzed it endlessly, but the official report dismissed it as equipment interference. Still, Sam knew better. The signal became his obsession. He replayed it in his head at night like a haunting melody. He mapped it, compared it, wondered if it was a message, perhaps even from the same beings who had visited him as a child.
Closer, I'm getting closer.
Chapter 5. The Return of the Saucer. Years later, Sam was no longer a boy, but a man of 30, respected in scientific circles. He published papers, gave lectures, but always carried a hidden fire in his heart. One night, while working late at an observatory in the mountains, he stepped outside to breathe the cold, crisp air. The sky stretched above him, vast and glittering with stars. Then he saw it. At first a faint shimmer, then a glow. Blue and green light, pulsing in a rhythm he knew too well. His breath caught, his chest tightened. There it was, the flying saucer, the same as all those years ago, sleek, silent, impossible, hovering above the treetops, bathed in an otherworldly glow. Sam's legs moved before his mind did. He ran, down the mountain path, across the field, closer and closer to the vessel. His heart thundered, his eyes filled with tears.
I knew it. You're real. I knew it.
The saucer's lights pulsed brighter, as if in response. Sam stumbled to a halt, breathless, staring up in awe. And then he saw it again. The creature. The same figure from his childhood standing in the glow, shimmering, translucent, eyes like silver fire.
You're real.
The being raised a hand. A surge of light burst outward, engulfing Sam. The world around him shattered. Chapter 6. The Loop of Time. When Sam opened his eyes, he gasped. He was not in the mountains anymore. He was in his bedroom, his childhood bedroom, the posters on the wall, the small wooden desk, the blanket patterned with stars, and standing at the foot of his bed, the creature, just as it had been, just as it always was.
No, this isn't possible. I'm 30 years old. I've lived my life, I've studied,
But when he looked down at his hands, they were small. His arms were thin. His voice was the voice of a child. He was 9 again. The rooster crowed outside. The clock read 4 a.m. and through the window, blue and green light.
No, this is the same moment. The same night.
The saucer hovered outside, just as before. The loop had closed. Chapter 7. The Otherworld. This time the alien did not vanish. It extended its shimmering hand, beckoning. Sam hesitated only a moment. Then he stepped forward. His small hand passed into the alien's glowing palm, and suddenly the window shattered, not with glass, but with reality itself. The walls of his bedroom dissolved into stars. The floor melted into light. Sam was no longer in his house, but in a vast corridor of shimmering energy. The alien led him onward, silent but commanding. And then Sam saw it. A world beyond worlds, floating islands of crystal drifting in the void, rivers of light flowing through skies of violet, towering structures shaped like spirals of silver, glowing with life. Creatures of impossible form gliding through the air, some with wings like glass, others formed of pure flame. It was a realm beyond imagination, a cosmic sanctuary, hidden outside time.
It's real. It's all real.
You sought us, Samir Caldwell. You followed the path of stars. You returned to the moment of truth. And now you will see what lies beyond.
Why me?
Because you believed. When others mocked, you pursued. When others doubted, you searched. Belief is the key that opens the gate.
Sam rose slowly, eyes wide with wonder. He realized in that moment that his entire life had been leading here, not to prove the world wrong, but to step into the impossible. Chapter 8. The Journey Beyond. Sam was no longer just a boy, no longer just a man. He was both and neither. In this realm, time folded, past and future entwined. He glimpsed fragments of what could be, himself as an old man gazing at stars, himself as a child laughing, himself walking among alien worlds. The saucer awaited, not as a machine of metal, but as a vessel of light. The alien gestured. Sam stepped aboard. The journey had only just begun,